So this can be actually your retail dashboard. Just after installing proof of concept, all the data pop up, and we apply the standardized out-of-the-box Power BI reports on the top of our data warehouse. Being a retailer, you are probably having the most important KPI on the top, and these are those which make sense to your business. We believe these are the most standard one. But if something is not relevant for you, so for example, if you have no problem whatsoever with voided transactions, you just drop and bring another measure out of 600 if you're using F&O, or 350 measures that are hidden in our solution. So just drag and drop, as Power BI can change any part of the dashboard. Now the same KPIs are shown in visuals in chart here over the period of a year in our case, and some of them are very common, some of them are more retail specific, and all the design is said that you can analyze your data super simple. So for example, if you have a channel type where I have department store and outlet, it should be very easy for me to filter this, because this might be the most important property in my store. And table here in the middle shows in a very simple way the good and the bad. So for example, we can easily spot, because of the formatting in the colors, that profit in Colombia is not doing good. We have a lot of voided transactions in Austin, and Atlantic City is lagging on a year-to-date revenue. If we analyze any application area, there are two aspects. So one aspect is also for the retail is time intelligence. So what I mean is that we have a basic need sales measure, and we see this measure through different time dimension, or that's actually date time dimension. In what we mean is like month-to-date index, month-to-date variance, month-to-date variance percentage. So these are the variances of the need sales. And there is a lot, because you are doing all-time comparison to a basic transactions. And of course, it applies by filtering by any other master file. The same part, we can just show you here a more tabular view on a year-to-date basis comparison. And there is a lot. If I just have a short exposure of year-to-date, you will see that all the measures that have YTD are going to pop. I just travel a little down. You see how many they are, quite a lot. Now, retailers, you are doing a lot of comparison also year-on-year or year-over-year basis. So this is one of the aspects also, as well as period-on-period, month-to-day, week-to-day, last periods, etc., etc., etc. Now, another aspect of analyzing is also analyzing your data in additional currency for reporting. So let me explain what this is. Now, your transactional database does transaction in your local currency. Let's say if you are in United Emirates, then the dirham is the local currency. But if you are having this database across multiple countries, and you pick up transactions also from neighboring countries where the currencies are different, then what BI4 Dynamics offer you out of the box consolidation by mapping all the local transaction to additional currency reporting, which is a part of the BI4 Dynamics setup, and it takes the currencies and exchange rate on transaction date out of your Dynamics. So this is what you have already out of the box for consolidation with no effort in all application area, not just in the retail. And again, let me just demonstrate, this is really, really well supported. I guess only in the retail, I would say that there is probably about 60 or 70 ACY measures. So why is this important? Because, for example, you see, just in this example, the currencies and exchange rates different, right? And you can be already happy by having a 4% lagging after the last year period in your transactional currency, local currency. However, in additional currency for the reporting, because of different exchange rates, you are 10% behind last year revenue in, let's say, more real term. So this is something that you get out of the box in BI4 Dynamics. Now, another aspect of analyzing business is the content that is specific to the area. In this case, we'll just go through few scenarios of retail. Of course, we are having a retail webinar. One thing is that after we install BR4 Dynamics, it takes just 1 day, and everyone is entering latitude and longitude, because you can use heat maps, which are really good to see how the business is performing also geographically. Also, you are entering sales per square meter. You want to get this basket value. In this case, we see if you want to upsell, business want to upsell, more value, more items into the basket. You want to track this. You do activity. You want to track, is that marketing activity getting some traction or not? So you can then analyze what is the average basket value, is it developing, how this is done by store over time, and so on. So we can see the department store average basket value, it's 4,000, while outlet is just 1/3 of this. Our lowest granularity of date or time dimension, it's a quarter of an hour, where you can analyze all transactions based on that detail. Now, another scenario, just to show how easy the setup can be, so that you can analyze it, the payments. And what we have here are different payment types, standard types, with a net payment, average payment, voided transactions. Again, here are the stores, and we are looking into trends in payment or average payment, but mostly what you are going to do is comparison between cash and cards, because you don't want to operate with cash. Take some effort to do this, as well as card providers use some commission in order to service you. So you would like to see how this is evolving over time. What are the trends comparison? So, for example, if this is one aspect of your business, and the other could be the retail type. And again, we can see, for example, that the net payments here are almost 8-9 times higher, and also the average payment here is 4 times higher for the customers in the store, department stores. And we can also see how they are paying with cash or credit cards, and which credit card, and you have a deal with the local bank, etc., etc., etc. Items. Of course, you structure the items. Maybe you have 100 items, you have more than 10 million items. We meet all kinds of customers, and you probably sorted out the grouping and leveraging of these attributes already inside of Dynamics. And what I just show you is that you can really analyze this data nicely. So, for example, this is a price tag of 350, a sales price of an item, how this is spread across the shops. And if you want to see how this is doing on the shops which are bigger, which means 170 square meter profile of the shop, these are also only department stores, then you would see the information how they are doing. This is just one simple aspect of sales analyzing by item. This feature, last sales transaction, is the interesting one, because once we show it, everyone just wants to use it. And what it is showing, like, all the retailer, we all agree, no stock is the best stock. So you're always looking different aspects of what's going on in the stock, in the sales. So what we are showing here is how you are tracking if the numbers are okay, but customers are changing habits in assortment. So what is this? We have the last sales in the 3 months in this selected period, where by item group, and here we can see that we have sold everything yesterday, which is the last day was yesterday. Now what is interesting, we can expand this hierarchy going to the next level, and we have the profiles of the customers, customer groups. Here we already see that the major customers stop buying some items, and we want to see, what is it? So we can filter this here. Immediately we can see it affects also the changes in other visuals. So these are the stores. We can see this is here, net sales, sorted by net sales. It says, okay, you see in Annapolis, these items have not been sold for 14 days. And we can see which item have been sold for how many days. Going further, we can also go and filter the major customers. And we go to the next level. We can go directly to the customer that we want to analyze. So we can see, for example, tennis stadium customer hasn't been buying from us in Palo Alto already for 80 days, and which are the items and so on. So this is something really, really, really very useful when you are managing a lot of data. And there is no way, as you can see, that you will be analyzing the black and white, like reports from your ERP CAM, because this is way better, more flexible, and you can spot immediately the outlining events. Now, just to end this content part on the retail, we'll just show you a few more things about operations. You are gathering a lot of data in your posts, and we just show how nicely structured data are coming into the Power BI dashboard like this one. So we are tracking, for example, discounted items, corrected SAN items, and here we have this exposed. If you have problems with discount or some post types are not performing, you will easily spot some issues here with climbing values. And if you have issues with voided transactions, either sales or payments, then how easy it is to track this. If I just click here on Philadelphia, this is voided by the store. We have percentages of payments and sales line and payments. And here it is by staff. So all these things, as you see, is super easy, super simple to analyze. And this is what actually today's business intelligence solutions offer.